Hey Southeast, I have a important question for you today. Where do you go when you need encouragement? When you're going through a season that is unexpected or it's difficult, where it feels like everything is falling apart, where do you go to find hope? And I don't think that there's one answer. I think that it kind of depends on the day, if not the moment. But I think there's a few. One is when we gather together as a body and we find encouragement with each other. I think that's a gift that God gives us, the body of Christ, to be able to reach out and to say, hey, I'm going through something, or to see somebody going through something and to reach out to them. I think that we find our hope from others. I also think it's not just in the present moment that we find that hope, but looking to past saints, past believers, and seeing how they handled things. One of my go-tos growing up, a couple books, The Hiding Place by Corey Ten Boom, God's Smuggler. Seeing how some of those missionaries made it through difficult times and everything felt like the world was collapsing around them, and seeing their faith, that gives us encouragement. And of course, we read about that in Hebrews chapter 11, the faith chapter, and the saints that have gone before us. I think also evaluating your life and seeing where God has been faithful in the past. If God has been faithful in the past, surely he will not fail you today. And I think you can hold on to something like that. For me, one of the things that I like to do in my quiet time, I get up, some of you guys know this already, but I like to get up and go for a run with the dogs, and I don't listen to anything. It's in those moments that I'm praying. And I love this time of year because when I'm getting up this time of year, it's dark, and I tend to head south. The run that I route, it's an in and out, and so I'm running south down the street, and usually I'm out there by myself other than the dogs. There's a few other people, but it's just a time that I can pray. But what I love about it when it's dark is I can see the constellations, I can see the stars. And so just the way that it's orientated on my run, I get to see Orion and I get to see the Pleiades. And I don't know, I just find that comfortable. And especially since the Bible mentions those constellations. In fact, in Job, when God was answering Job for the catastrophe, he said, Job, you don't understand. You only see a small point in time, and I see everything. And so he starts going through these things, and it's pretty incredible. But we get down to Job chapter 38, verse 31, and he says, can you bind the chains of the Pleiades, or loose the cords of Orion? Can you lead forth the Mazareth in their season? Or can you guide the bear with its children? Do you know the ordinances of the heavens? Can you establish their rule on earth? And for me, when I'm running south and I'm looking up and I'm seeing the constellations, again, specifically Orion and the Pleiades, it's just a reminder that we are not in control. God is in control. And whatever happens, we can trust him. He is faithful, and he will not abandon you. And so I think that's one of the places I go to for encouragement, is just simply looking at his creation and finding encouragement there. Again, it's not one or the other. I think it's all of them. Past believers, current believers, God's faithfulness in your own life, and as you look back, and also we see it in creation. Hey, there's a couple things that are coming up, and I want to make sure that you know about it. This Sunday is our open house for the student ministry. Love to have you join us, whether you have kids, whether you don't have kids, but everybody's invited. Again, that's this Sunday on the 29th. Also coming up, we have a couple men's activity and a women's activity. The first one is the women's activity, and they are having crepes, and that's on the 5th. It's a Saturday. It's going to be a great time. It's brunch. They're calling it Fall for Crepes. And then coming up for the men, first weekend of November 1st through the 3rd, we have our men's retreat. So love to have you join us for that. I'm certainly looking forward to that weekend myself. And so, yeah, Southeast, I love you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you on Sunday. God bless.